Top 5 states which have registered maximum cases are Maharashtra with 36,265 cases, West Bengal with 15,421 cases, Delhi with 15,097 cases and Tamil Nadu with 6,983 cases. Karnataka makes up the rest of that list with 5,031 cases. That's 1,17,100 cases in India so far. The third wave gripping Mumbai and Delhi in particular. The country has reported 1,17,000 cases. That's just in the last 24 hours, 28.8% higher than yesterday. 302 people have died due to the deadly virus in the said period. Maharashtra is the worst hit with over 36,000 cases. The financial capital has recorded the highest ever daily surge with over 20,000 new cases and 4 deaths in the last 24 hours. The positivity rate stands at 25% in Mumbai, which means 25 people are testing positive out of 100. Despite the spike in cases, hospitalization remains low in the city. The national capital too is battling the third wave. Delhi has reported 15,097 cases with 6 deaths in the last 24 hours, and the positivity rate stands at over 15%. The weekend curfew comes into effect starting 10 p.m. today until 5 a.m. Monday. All government employees are now instructed to work from home, while private offices will be working at 50% capacity in the national capital. All essential services are exempted in the order. To tackle the Omicron-fueled third wave, Delhi government has reopened COVID care centres with 100 oxygen-bedded facilities.
हम क्लोजली ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं आने वाले दिनों में जो भी संख्या रहेगी, जिस तरह से ये पैरामीटर्स हम ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं, तो वो अगर कुछ उसमें डिस्टर्बिंग कुछ रहा तो निश्चित तौर पर रेस्ट्रिक्शंस की बढ़ाने का काम करना ही पड़ेगा। लेकिन वो हम बारीकी से देख रहे हैं, रोज उसका एनालिसिस कर रहे हैं और उसके अनुसार माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी उस पर अंतिम निर्णय लेंगे।
वही तो कोई विचार नहीं है, लेकिन मैंने जैसे कहा कि अगर आवश्यकता हो इन लार्जर पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट तो हमें कुछ कदम उठाने पड़ेंगे और वो इस पर चर्चा हो रही है और मंत्रिमंडल में इसकी चर्चा होगी और उसका अंतिम निर्णय राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री लेंगे।
The national capital is witnessing constant spike in the COVID-19 cases. According to the January 6th COVID bulletin of the national capital, at least 15,000 fresh cases were recorded in Delhi within 24 hours, and the positivity rate has now breached 15% mark. That means every 100% that are being tested in Delhi, 15 are turning out to be COVID positive. Along with this, another matter of concern for the Delhi walas is that in the past week, different government hospitals of Delhi are witnessing a situation where health workers, including doctors and nurses, have started to turn positive, and that number is at least around 100. And in order to stop the spread of the COVID-19, the Delhi government has already imposed night curfew and weekend curfew. Today, all non-essential public movement will be restricted from 10 p.m. and this restriction will remain till 5 a.m. on Monday. However, those working with the Essential Services Department and essential services and establishments like medical stores will be allowed to operate. The metros will operate. However, the duration of the metros will be slowed down. With video journalist Ashwini Helen, this is Amit Bhardwaj for India Today from Delhi.
आज 31,498 एक्टिव पेशेंट हैं और हॉस्पिटल में जो बेड ऑक्यूपाइड हैं वो 1091 है, मतलब लगभग 3% भी नहीं है। जब पिछली बारी 30,000 बेड ऑक्यूपाइड थे तो हमारे पास हॉस्पिटल में कम से कम 7,000 बेड ऑक्यूपाइड थे। पहले के मुकाबले में 6 गुना या 7 गुना पेशेंट कम हैं हॉस्पिटल्स के अंदर। अब उसको आप माइल्ड कहिए या नहीं कहिए, कहना ये भी उसका मतलब निकाल सकते हैं।
After Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia, announced that buses and metros will run at 100% seating capacity, remember that no standing passengers are allowed as per the new guidelines. India Today did a reality check of COVID protocols inside a metro coach. Despite the government's strict norms, people inside the metro were seen flouting these norms. Take a look.
क्राउड देखा प्रिकॉशंस तो कहीं पे भी नहीं है। अब ये है ऑफिस है, अगर ऑफिस नहीं जाएंगे तो फिर फाइनेंशियली सब चीज़ें कैसे बंदा अपना सॉर्ट आउट कर पाएगा। स्नीज है, कॉफ है लोगों को, लेकिन फिर भी जा रहे कर रहे हैं। और सबसे बड़ी बात, कोई प्रिकॉशंस नहीं लेता है। प्रिकॉशंस नहीं लोगे तो आई थिंक सो कि कोविड कभी ख़त्म भी होगा।
सुबह ड्यूटी जाना होता है और पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट अवेलेबल नहीं है। मेट्रो में इतनी भीड़ है। मेट्रो में एक तो सुबह के समय उनको कुछ ना कुछ रिस्ट्रिक्शन करने चाहिए ताकि मेट्रो में भीड़ कम हो। कोविड रिस्ट्रिक्शन का कोई पालन नहीं होता।
डर लगता है, रिस्क लगता है,
बहुत डर लगता है। मजबूरी है, जाना पड़ता है।
While Delhi and Mumbai remain the worst hit cities across the country, other cities are facing the brunt of the deadly virus too, amid the sudden rise in COVID cases. Here's a look at the Pan-India ground report.
The COVID situation in Karnataka seems to be deteriorating every day. The positivity rate in Bengaluru has shot up to 7.5%, whereas the positivity rate overall in the state is risen up to 3.95%. Now, across the state, cases are increasing. While most of the cases are concentrated in Bengaluru, Karnataka recorded over 5,000 cases in the last 24 hours, with more than 4,000 cases recorded in Bengaluru alone. Now, Omicron cases are also risen in the case, with more than 200 cases that have been registered so far. Now, Karnataka government has said that they will be following weekend curfew, which will come into effect from around 8 p.m. on Friday and which will end on 5 a.m. on Sunday. Now, with all these measures, the Karnataka government hopes to ensure and constrain the rise of Omicron and COVID cases in the state. With video journalist Shivmurthy, this is Karthik for India Today.
COVID-19 situation in the state of Tamil Nadu is turning serious as the case numbers, daily positivity rate is increasing magnanimously. In fact, we are at one location, Nandambakam, where the state has readied one of the trade centers here as a preparation. You could see the number of beds at this point. This particular trade center called Nandambakam Trade Center alone in Chennai is going to house nearly 900 beds, because the issue here seems to be Chennai is very badly affected. And another serious issue the state has to deal currently is the Pongal celebrations, which also the state has decided to postpone. Everywhere only 50% occupancy is allowed, be it gym, be it malls, be it shops. This way the state has brought in new curbs to make sure that the infection could be controlled. However, for now it looks like the infection is spreading rapidly, because if we take day by day statistics, a minimum of 1,500 cases are being added every day, while the patients that are being discharged is only 700 plus. However, the health department is pretty sure that if the people follow standard operating procedures, if they mask up, all this could be rectified. With Daniel, Pramod Madhav for India Today.
Well, with an increase in COVID cases in the capital, hospital beds have begun to be occupied. What is the percentage of hospitalization as compared to the second wave? Milan Sharma reports.
केसेस तो बढ़ रहे हैं, लेकिन चिंता की कोई बात नहीं है, पैनिक होने की कोई बात नहीं है। सबको जिम्मेदारी से काम लेना है, लेकिन पैनिक होने की कोई बात नहीं है।
पिछले 10-15 दिन से केसेस काफ़ी बढ़ रहे हैं, जब से ओमिक्रॉन आया है काफ़ी तेज़ी से बढ़ रहे हैं। परंतु संतोष की बात यह है कि लोग बड़े नॉर्मल से लक्षण हैं, बहुत ही कम बीमार हो रहे हैं, हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन की बहुत कम ज़रूरत पड़ रही है।
Delhi Health Minister this week predicted 14,000 daily COVID cases, but assured the capital is in a comfortable position in terms of hospital bed availability.
अभी तक स्थिति बहुत ही कंट्रोल में है। मैंने जैसा बताया कि केसेस तो नंबर बढ़ रहे हैं, परंतु उसके प्रोपोर्शनेटली लोग सीरियस बीमार नहीं हो रहे हैं, अस्पताल नहीं जा रहे हैं, इसलिए बड़े संतोष की बात है।
3 days later, the national capital has breached the 15,000 mark, and the caseload is likely to increase exponentially. Delhi's Corona app is already showing an increase in bed occupancy. If on January 5th, 945 out of 12,025 COVID beds were occupied, a day later, this number rose to 1,125. The number of occupied oxygen bed rose from 921 out of 11,405 to 1,099. Out of 3,306 ICU beds, the occupancy increased from 187 to 213. 65 out of 1,523 ventilators were occupied on January 5th. The next day, it rose to 72. More patients are now heading to OPDs for treatment in hospitals.
Hospitalizations are not there, so we don't need to panic about the availability of beds in the hospitals. But definitely, if the numbers continue to rise as they are, when there's a steep rise and once the disease spreads into the immunocompromised people as well, like those who are elders, those who have underlying diabetes, hypertension, cardiac ailments, so once it starts to spread in them, then of course the hospitalization rates will also go up.
Doctors now say patients who were admitted for planned surgeries or treatment are testing positive.
Incidental positive itself explains the community spread now. So people who are coming here, they are asymptomatic or they are, coming for some planned surgeries, and if they're getting it tested, they have no symptoms at all. And when they get the RT-PCR done, it is positive. And they're all asymptomatic, so they are being explained to stay at home. So this is the biggest example of the community spread at the moment.
At Sir Gangaram Hospital, there were 40 COVID admissions in the last 2-3 days. 13 of them are healthcare workers.
The majority are not requiring too much of support, but as the number goes up and as we have comorbid conditions, we need to be very cautious. Although the current wave seems to be milder and less severe than what we had seen 8-9 months ago, but still we need to be cautious considering we have a large population and a lot of people have comorbid illnesses who need to be alert.
Will the hospitals be overwhelmed by the third wave? Data accessed by India Today from sources in the Delhi government can give some perspective. The active caseload on April 2nd was 11,994, while on January 3rd, it was 10,986. The caseload at this stage is roughly the same. Now look at the hospitalizations. On April 2nd, 1,956 or 16% of active cases needed oxygen, while on January 3rd, this number was 398 or 3.6%. The number of patients in ICU on April 2nd were 808, roughly 6.7% of active cases, and on January 3rd, it was 113 or 1%. On April 2nd, 249 patients or 2.1% of active cases were on ventilator, while on January 3rd, 48 or 0.48% were on life support. In Delhi, more than 14,000 people are in home isolation right now. Once the elders start getting infected, the impact on health systems could be seen as the elderly and those with comorbidities. Once the elders start getting infected, the impact on health systems could be seen as the elderly and those with comorbidities are not recommended for home isolation.
Medical experts say that incidental positives are a bigger concern at the moment, and those who are coming in for other illnesses are turning out to be positive. That could also lead to a surge in hospitalizations. As slow rates of hospitalizations continue to increase, the full impact of Omicron will be known in a few days from now. With Ajay Thakur in New Delhi, this is Milan Sharma for India Today.
My colleague Paulami Saha explains the Omicron cases across India. Listen in.
Now, as India witnesses a surge in COVID-19 cases across the country, here are the number of cases of the Omicron variant found in India. Maharashtra has seen, in fact, 876 cases. Delhi has seen 465 cases. Kerala has seen 284 cases. Karnataka has seen 333 cases. Rajasthan has seen 291 cases. These are the states which are in fact accountable for the maximum number of Omicron cases across the country, the total of which stands at 3,007 cases at the moment.
India Today exclusively speaks to Professor of IIT Kanpur, Manindra Agarwal, about the surge in COVID-19 cases across the nation. He claimed that the third COVID wave could peak by January end. Here's more.
Professor Manindra Agarwal, thank you so much for your time here. I want to begin by asking you that more than 1 lakh cases are being reported in India already. There is a visible surge It's for all of us to see, and a lot has been said about how this could just be a not very accurate number. So the actual numbers could be much more. Having said that, if more than 1 lakh cases is not our peak, what really would be India's peak? What would be the scenario in major cities in weeks and days to come? What are your findings? Do share with us.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Firstly, the data coming about Omicron cases in India is still in very early days, because even in Mumbai, where it started perhaps the earliest, we only have about 10 days data. So we have a model which looks at the data and then estimates the parameter values and then computes a prediction based on that. So for most of the places, our model doesn't have enough data to be able to make such projections. Having said that, we have done some preliminary analysis, and what this indicates is the following: that in cities like Delhi, Mumbai, where the numbers have been rising very fast for past week or so, they will continue to rise very sharply, with the peak estimated somewhere around middle of this month. That is, in about a week, 10 days from now. And this is a typical characteristic of any wave that rises very fast, that it peaks fast and again comes down quite fast.
Okay.
For India, we are still a little bit in the dark because, as I said, then insufficient data is available at present. But very preliminary estimates indicate that the peak will be somewhere between 4 to 8 lakh cases per day. Somewhere around...
For the entire country?
For the entire country. Somewhere around end of this month, give or take a week.